This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Amy Tan is a famous American writer who was born in 1952. She is well known for her novella about the conflict between mothers and daughters and the difficulties of the Chinese-American experience. Amy Tan's first book is The Joy Luck Club. It consists of 16 novellas, united by the same characters and the generational conflict, but can also stand alone. One of the short stories in this book is called Two Kinds, and this very novella will be analyzed in this essay. The purpose of this paper is to provide a summary of two kinds and to discuss the causes of differences between mothers and daughters in the moment of the conflict resolution. First of all, it is important to give a summary of the two kinds. This novella tells a story about the complicated relationship between a mother and her daughter, Jingmei. Mrs. Wu moved from China to the USA, and now she truly believes that you could be anything you wanted to be in America. She aims to find her daughter's hidden talents, and, after trying many things, decides to send her to piano lessons. Jingmei, determined to prove to her mother that she has no talents, does not put much effort into learning. A year later, the girl has to perform in a talent show, where she completely fails. After the performance, she refuses to continue piano lessons and fights with her mother. Mrs. Wu says that there are only two kinds of daughters, those who are obedient and those who follow their own mind. Only one kind of daughter can live in this house. Obedient daughter. The next time Jingmei plays the piano is many years later, when Mrs. Wu dies, and she comes to her mother's house again. The significant difference in ways of thinking may be attributed to several reasons. The first reason is the age difference and, accordingly, the daughter's lack of life experience. Jingmei knows about her mother's losses, but cannot fully understand her since she never went through anything like that. Her mother's desire to make Jingmei famous seems meaningless and stupid to the child, so she puts no effort into learning something and much effort to prove Suyuan Wu wrong. As to Mrs. Wu, it is evident that she does not understand her child. She forgot what it means to be a 9-year-old. It seems like the daughter and the mother speak different languages, the language of youth and the one of old age, and do not want to try to understand each other. The second reason is the cultural differences between Suyuan Wu and Jingmei. According to Borus, the mother is afraid that her daughter will not have Chinese character. No matter how hard Mrs. Wu believes in the American dream, she is still Chinese and wants her daughter to be Chinese too. However, the truth is that Jingmei was born in the USA, she lives in the USA, and she is far away from the Chinese traditions. While her mother organizes a Chinese club that aims at the preservation of the generational wisdom of a culture, her daughter is not very interested in that culture. She finds her only talent to thwart her mother's ambitions and sticks to it for many years. The third reason for the misunderstanding between the mother and the daughter is personality differences. Undoubtedly, the fact that Mrs. Wu and Jingmei have different characters is evident. It is believed that at the core of the struggle is the conflict between Suyuan Wu's belief in America as the land of the unlimited potential and Jingmei's more realistic expectations. Mrs. Wu wants her daughter to become famous and successful. Meanwhile, Jingmei has no ambitions and high hopes for the future. She is an ordinary girl, not a genius, and wants to stay the same. From all of the above, one can say that Two Kinds is an examination of Chinese-American mother-daughter relationships. Tan believes that it is hard for Jingmei to support her mother and follow Chinese traditions as her homeland is America. Moreover, this short story portrays a more universal clash of wills between mothers and daughters. The generational conflict exists in every century and every country. Because of age, cultural, and personality differences, many mothers and daughters feel the generation gap between them. It is hard to disagree that the conflict between mothers and daughters is complicated. The title of the story, Two Kinds, refers to two kinds of daughters, Chinese and American, identifying the two perspectives that create the story's conflict. The conflict resolution takes place at the end of the story when Jingmei is 30 years old. After her mother's death, Jingmei takes the piano to her home and starts playing, realizing that she still remembers how to do that. After some moments, it appears to her that the two pieces, the pleading child and the perfectly contented, are two parts of the same song. That means that a child may be different, pleading and pleased, obedient and following their mind. To conclude, one can admit that the conflict between generations is very complicated. Although a mother and a daughter may love and understand each other, there are moments when the generation gap appears in their lives. Parents and children are different as they grow up in different times, societies, and circumstances. As misunderstandings cannot be wholly avoided, mothers and daughters need to do their best to listen and understand each other. If you want to find more works like this essay on mother-daughter relationships in Two Kinds by Amy Tan, head over to ivypanda.com. It has a collection of free samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects. No registration required to access it.